Hello, I'm Chris.
And I'm Cheryl, and today we're in Walnutport. We're back at Kelchner's Lock House. Why are we here? Well, about a month ago, you can see our tapes previous. We did Kelchner's Lock House, and it's right behind us. And that was lock number 23. And we're in search of lock number 25. So we're going to walk this towpath and find lock number 25 at the Lehigh Canal.
Boy, isn't this the path where all that geese poop was?
Yes, it is, Chris. And you know what? Sometimes in life throws a little poop on your path. You got to get through that to see it clear away.
Well, there's been a lot of poop thrown in our path. All right, let's go see that lock.
And as you can see, that's lock 23 that we already visited, and the Kelchner's Lock House is right over there. So we're going to go this way, and we're going to walk this towpath and find lock number 25, just down about 1.5 miles or so. And I don't see much poop on our path today, which is a good sign. And here's the canal. And here at Walnutport, it's a really attractive canal town on the Lehigh Canal. It's about 13 miles north of Allentown on Route 145, and it's about 4.5 mile towpath trail along a restored canal. It includes lock number 22 and lock number 25. Original 1828 cut stone Locktender's house, which we visited, like I said before. It's on the National Historic Register of Places, and it was at the restored, the lock number 23 that was restored over there too. Now we're coming to this nice bridge right here. And here's across the canal. And that's back where we came from. Way down there, you can still see lock number 23. So let's go over this bridge. Oh, there's a nice little stream right there. Okay. Oh, this is nice. And look at over the banister. Some trickles of a little tiny waterfalls. Really nice and peaceful. And off we go again. At the height of its financial success, the Lehigh Canal was considered to be the largest capacity and longest running towpath canal in America, consisting of 9 dams and 52 locks, and, covering a distance of 46.6 miles, I believe. It was a marvel of engineering feat in its time and remains so today. Monkchunk, Packerton, Wiseport, Perryville, Lehigh Gap, Walnutport, which we're in now, Locksport, Trentlers, Laurie Station, Siegfried, Northampton, Catasauqua, Allentown, Bethlehem, Hopeville, Glendale, and Easton. These are the communities along the Lehigh River. Many of these communities existed and prospered prior to the coming of the Lehigh Canal, but some of them came into existence as a direct result of the construction of the canal. These canal towns grew into existence to serve the canal system and, in return, to be served by it. Not all 52 locks exist today, and some are completely overgrown and near impossible to reach due to damage to the towpath by floods. Some were destroyed in later years when the railroad was rerouted or a new highway was built or widened. But thanks to the Lehigh Canal and Navigational Company, the local communities through which the canal flows, and the United States Congress for delegating the canal as the Delaware and Lehigh Canal Heritage Corridor, many of the locks are now accessible, and a few have been even restored. And there's a nice little platform across. maybe to sit and reflect or fish. And this is a really peaceful spot too to take a walk. I like it. And I can't really see any fish in here right now. It's kind of clear right here, but murky too. And I don't see any geese. And yes, it sure is nature's trail. And another nice bench. And you know, I think that's terrific. But I sure do hope we can find this lock and it's visible. We'll just have to wait until we see when we get up to it.
Well, this is a really nice path.
Yeah, Chris, it is, and there's no poop on the path.
Yeah, that's always a good sign.
Way up there, it looks like a bridge. Or maybe that's the lock. Let's go find out. We're getting closer. Yup. And that might be it. Okay, we're almost right on top of it, and I don't think we went 1.5 miles yet to find lock number 25. But here are remnants of a lock. And I'm wondering if it's not lock 25, if it's lock 24. But I don't know. And there's no sign. So this is either lock 24 or lock 25. But we're going to continue to go down here because I don't think we went 1.5 miles. Let's go on that bridge and take a look going down this way. And look at this, lock 25. This is not lock 25. It is almost 1 mile still down the road. So, but it doesn't say that this is lock 24. But it would have to be. Because after lock 23, the next number is 24. But there's no sign that says this is lock 24. And over there, it says lock 25 is about 9/10 of a mile away. So, this would have to be lock 24. And here's the other side. Wow. Nice. And right outside what I think is lock number 24, this thing's still here. Oh, it moves a little bit. I guess that was to open and shut the door. Right there, 1940. At least I think that says 40. But you'd think they would have put a sign on here that said lock 24. And it doesn't say. Just a sign for lock 25. Which if 23 is down there and 25 is here, this would have to be 24. Well, let's continue a mile and find lock number 25 and a picnic area. And here's some steps to the right to go down to look at the river. And maybe we'll do that on the way back. And right after those steps, there's a sign that says the old swimming hole. I remember those as a kid. I have to say, this shore is a peaceful path to come and walk or walk your dogs. I've only seen 2 people on here so far. So it is very peaceful. Nice place to walk if you live right around here. There's a lot of houses around here, and it'd be a nice place to take a walk every day if you lived close. I mean, you got the canal right here on this side, and you got the river right there. You can see it a little bit between the brush, but it's right smack next to you. So you're walking in between both waterways. Really, really peaceful. And right here on the right hand side by the river, you can see the columns to where a bridge for cars or a train used to be. And here we go, another concrete post here and one across the canal right here. And I found a sign that says what this bridge was at one time. The Poughkeepsie Bridge. Crossing the Lehigh River at this point, the planned South Mountain and Boston Railroad was to run from Harrisburg to Boston. Track was laid across this bridge in August 1889, and the rail traffic commenced on January 1st, 1890. In 1890, the Pennsylvania, Poughkeepsie, and Boston Railroad owned the line. This railroad was referred to as the Poughkeepsie Line, which lent its name to this bridge. After purchasing the railroad, Lehigh Coal Navigational Company rebuilt the bridge in 1909. In 1934, they asked permission to abandon the Slatington branch, and the track and bridge were removed in 1936. Very interesting. And I'm glad there was a sign there. So you can see right here how the bridge went across the canal. Right there. So, it was here. It went kind of diagonal across the canal over there. So here we go again. That's a very large tree. And it branches out everywhere. Haven't seen one geese. Maybe it's too cold for them. And I still haven't seen any fish over here. Well, we did find a few ducks. They're on this little tiny island on the canal. Relaxing, then going for a swim. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. You guys have a good day. Aww, these are cute. And the Lehigh River, of course, is still on the right side. Yes, and did I say how peaceful this was? And what a beautiful morning. And we should be getting closer to lock number 5. We've been walking for, well, probably since we saw the last lock, which I think is lock number 24. We've been walking for about 20 minutes or so. And here's another little side bridge up here to go over. But there's no waterfalls on this side. I'm sure there is if this water right here comes up higher. It probably does overflow and go down these rocks right into the river. But I'm sure lock 25 has to be right up here a little ways. Here's a more open view of the Lehigh River right here. Pretty. Just look at how beautiful this canal looks right here. Right there, because it's bending up there. It's just a beautiful view of it. And yet some more ducks. And they're swimming right over towards us. Hey fellas. Quack quack. The only thing I'm missing on this path is raspberries. The raspberry season is long gone. So I have nothing to pick and eat while I'm walking. And way up there, I see a plaque. And I betcha that's lock 25. And you can see the canal, how wide it is right here. And how right here it starts to get narrower. Because this is the lock, or what's left of the lock. And I'm going to get through this tall grass here. Yes, it is, because I can see right here. Wow, there's a lot of sticks and trees that fell right in there. But you can see, and here's some of the stonework, and this one is in nowhere near as good a shape as the last two that we just saw. And the one that we saw out Kelchner's Lock House. But it's still here. And that's a good thing. And let's go to that bridge over there and that plaque. Chris? Yep. We made it.
I did.
And some more wildlife down there. And we're going to go across this bridge because there's another side so you can see it from the other side. But here's the sign. Living with the canal. Now I'm not going to read all this because according to my YouTube, people tend to turn the video off when you read from the boards. So I'm just going to put it up here and hopefully you can pause it and read it yourself if you want to. And let's walk across this bridge, but it's an open grate bridge. It seems pretty sturdy, but here's the lock right from here from the bridge. And I don't know, but this is just so peaceful here. It really is. And you can see the stonework. Some of the stones, of course, are right in the lock. They fell out. But you can see some of it here. There's a lot of foliage on it. Let me see if I can go this way a little more. But it's still here. And that's good. Now here's the other side of this bridge, and you can see that the canal is not as big, it's not as wide, it's not flowing. There's all kinds of marshlands in there now, at least at this point right here. But just right here and up there, it's flowing and beautiful. And then all of a sudden, after this lock, it stops right here. And let's continue on this side. And there's another board right there, which is probably the same board, but I'll go down and check. But let's go on this side and see if we can see more of the stones from this side. Oh yeah, you can see more of the stonework from this side better. That's neat. Look at that. Walking where history was is always fascinating. Putting your feet and touching the things that the people from long ago have walked or touched is just amazing. And here we're at the top here again where all those sticks and trees have fell. Right on top of where the canal runs into the lock. I wonder how long this will be here till it's completely gone. But this is their picnic area, I guess. I have to say, it's peaceful, but it's a little overgrown. The grass is up. I don't know if you can tell, but it's up in parts up to my knees. So it doesn't look like it's been mowed or maintained well for quite a while, actually. So let's see what this board says. Is it the same that's over on that side, or is it different? And I found something else. Nope, it's different. So I'm going to put it up again here, and you can pause the video and hopefully see it and read it if you'd like to. And look at this over here. You know what this is? You know what I bet this is? I bet you this is what's left of the Locktender's house at this Lock 25. I bet you. There's a foundation, a stone foundation. It's a big, I'm stepping, it looks like grass, but I'm stepping on a lot of rocks. In the pressed hole, like where all the foundation fell into itself. But you can see clearly that there was a foundation here. And I could be dead wrong, but I bet you this was what was left of the Locktender's house. And maybe if I go back and read those boards myself, I'll find out that's true. Let me just navigate on this side through all this tall grass, which is now up to my thighs. But you can definitely see, just give me a minute, you can definitely see the stone wall from what was once a house. And it looks like maybe there was a door here. Maybe not, but this was definitely the Locktender's house. What else could it be? You still have a piece of metal on here. And here's the lock up there. But here, right below it, is a little gully. And there's stones lined right down there. And then the Locktender's house. Or what I believe it to be. What's left of it. I kind of don't want to leave this place, but we'll take one last look at lock number 25 right here. And then I'll swing around the bridge and show you here. It just drops off. The water just gets narrow and swampy. Isn't that weird how that is? And the path does continue down there. It kind of gets a little narrower too, and a little more grassy. But we'll come back, and I think we're going to explore that a little bit more, because I think that this lock 23 and this one 25, and I think the one that we've seen that was 24, is the only ones in this area, Walnut Part. But I'll do some research, and if there's more down here, we'll be back. I know I told you just one more look, but here's actually the last look of it. And you can see the stonework right there. Really good right here. And right up there on that side, I believe that was the Locktender's house. What was left of it, of course. Which would make sense. It's right here. Okay, now that was truly the last look. And I do see a little fish in there. Of course, I don't think you're going to see it. But there is one. And I see a few more in there too. But the way the sun is hitting the canal, I don't think you'll see it. I don't know what kind of fish, but it has black stripes on it. I can't begin to tell you just how happy of a day this was today. We had a great walk. It was a great morning. We found lock number 25. We found what was left of the Locktender's house on lock 25. And I believe we found lock number 24. And we'll be back. This was a great morning.
Well, there was no poop today on the path. make sure you subscribe.